o'clock, time for the start of a regular meeting. This time I'd like to welcome everyone to this session of the Cumming City Council regular meeting. If I could, I'd like to ask all of you, if you have cell phones, if you would turn your cell phones off or silence your phone. And if you would join me and we'll pledge the flag, please. Stand and we'll pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, and again, welcome everyone. Item 2 is consideration of the agenda as presented. Hear a motion to be approved as presented.
Make a motion.
Have a motion, have a second? Second. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Any opposed? Unanimous. Executive session.
Mayor, I'd like to request an executive session for the purpose of real estate and pending litigation. I anticipate it take about 20 minutes.
Okay. For the executive session, due to the fact we have several other items, I'd like to move executive session to the end of the meeting, approval with the board. I hear a motion from the board to move the executive session at the end of the meeting.
So moved.
Have a motion, a second? Second. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay. Item 4 is consideration adoption of the minutes of the previous meetings. Regular City Council meeting October the 20th, 2015. I assume everybody got a copy of the minutes of that meeting. If no corrections, the city will entertain, the chair will entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we adopt.
Your motion, second. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Executive session, October the 20th, 2015, the same. I hear a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Acknowledgements, proclamation, resolution, item 5, Appendix A, Indian Heritage Month. We have someone here for that. I'll ask y'all, I'll read the proclamation, and if you would, please, y'all come up and we'll present it to you, okay, for picture. National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, or American Indians Committee, proclamation, National American Indian Heritage Month, whereas the history and culture of our great nation have been significantly influenced by American Indians and indigenous people, and whereas the contributions of American Indians have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of America today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of the rich legacy throughout the United States, and whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month. And whereas in honor of National American Indian Heritage Month, community celebrations, as well as numerous culture, artistic, educational, and historical activities have been planned. Now, therefore, H. Gravett, the Cumming City Council, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor and the city of Cumming, do hereby proclaim November as the National American Indian Heritage Month in Cumming, Georgia, and urge all citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Witnessed whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Cumming to be affixed 17th day of November in the year of our Lord 2015. If y'all would come up, please. All the council would huddle up behind me here for y'all think y'all would say? Y'all like to say anything, sir, have the vote, would you like to speak?
No.
Okay, thank y'all very much. Okay. Item B, Thrombosis Awareness Month. Whereas more than 600,000 people in the United States are estimated to develop venous thromboembolism, or clots of the veins, every year, with about 400,000 of them developing deep vein thrombosis of the legs. And whereas pulmonary embolism, a serious and potentially fatal complication of deep vein thrombosis, affects at least 200,000 people in the U.S. annually. And whereas the mission of the North American Thrombosis Forum, NATF, is to increase awareness of thrombosis and to conduct research in the area of venous thromboembolism, and whereas the mission of the Georgia Thrombosis Forum is to work and enhance the mission of NATF by training young volunteers to organize, plan, and handle promotional efforts to increase thrombosis awareness in cities and counties throughout the state. And whereas the Surgeon General has declared that 100,000 to 180,000 Americans die each year due to pulmonary embolism, and whereas through public awareness that promotes prompt diagnosis and proper treatment, the frequency of deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism among citizens of the city of Cumming can be minimized and ultimately save lives. Now be it resolved that the city of Cumming designates December 2015 as Thrombosis Awareness Month in the city of Cumming, signed by Mayor H. Ford Graver, city of Cumming. If y'all would come up, please, and accept the proclamation. Thank y'all very much. Thank you very much.
Could we talk a few minutes?
Sure can, thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of Georgia Thrombosis Forum, myself, Prajakta Kadam, would like to thank Mayor Gravitt, council members, and Ms. Ledford for presenting us with the proclamation. I proudly introduce the founder of GTF, Dr. Atul Laddu, Mrs. Jayashri Laddu, and our three young volunteers, Anushka Kadam, a freshman at Lambert High School, Ayush Sharma, a freshman at Alpharetta High School, and Nimish Kadam, who is a 6th grade student at Riverwatch Middle School, for their commitment in spreading thrombosis awareness in Georgia. Currently, Dr. Laddu is working on an article which will be published in the North Point Atlanta in the February special issue. I would now request Anushka to proceed with her presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kadam. Once again, I would like to thank Ms. Crystal Ledford for helping us through this entire process, for getting this proclamation, Mayor Gravitt for allowing us to receive this proclamation. Thrombosis is a very deadly condition. There are almost 900,000 cases of PE every single year in the U.S., out of which 300,000 die. One blood clot forms every minute, and one person dies every 6 minutes due to thrombosis. It is very deadly, yet it's so unknown. The total financial burden of thrombosis on the U.S. every single year is about $12 billion. With that, I would like to pass it off to Ayush Sharma, who will continue our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka. We formed GTF 4 years ago with a major goal in mind, to provide awareness and its dangers of thrombosis to Georgia communities. We have obtained several proclamations, such as from the state of Georgia, as well as several other counties, such as Cobb, Gwinnett, Forsyth, Fulton, and the city of Alpharetta and Atlanta. I'd like to now pass it on to Nimish.
Thank you, Ayush. I am a proud member of GTF. GTF plans to move on with its commitments for thrombosis in the Georgia communities. Thank you for the team of Ms. Crystal Ledford and Mayor Ford Gravett from the city of Cumming.
Thank you.
Thank you all for making us aware of this very important health issue. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. Okay, item 6, being none, old business. Item 7, administrative. We have a budget proposal that we want to pass out, or you have in your packet. That'll be a public hearing, will be held on December the 1st for that. That's just for council's information only. And we'll have a budget hearing at 5 o'clock on December the 1st right here at City Hall for a budget hearing. Okay. And I'll also mention at that time, I'll highlight the state of the city's condition at that at the next city council meeting, which will be December the, what's the next? December the, yeah. Okay. Item 2, town's backstage restaurant lease is up before the board. Information for the renewal of the new lease. Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. In your packet is the report that we received. We had an appraisal done by Chattahoochee Valuation Group, who is an MAI appraisal company here in Cumming. They have appraised the value of the restaurant lease in the city school building at $33,600 per year, which equates to $2,800 a month, which is an increase over the past lease by several $100s per month. This is an annual renewable lease, and we would respectfully request, if you see fit to approve it based upon this market value, that we would be glad as city attorneys to draft an appropriate lease agreement for them to sign. And again, because it's an annual lease, this will be coming up before y'all. You can set it for multiple terms, but every year the city council has the right to review that. So that's where we are on that, and would respectfully request a motion approving a new lease for Tam's Backstage Restaurant for $33,600 per year or $2,800 per month. Be glad to answer any questions.
This is a certified lease appraisal company, the Chattahoochee Valuation Group, and this was done to protect basically the city and the renter, which is Kellytown Backstage Restaurant.
Correct.
And it's $300 a month increase, the lease from what it currently is.
That's correct, sir.
Correct?
It went from $2,500 to $2,800, so a $300 per month increase.
Yeah, the current lease was 5-year lease, and it was $2,500 a month, and the new lease goes to $2,800 a month. That's the certified. So it's time for it up. So Tam has indicated he wants to renew it. So Tam's Backstage people. So what's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion, we renew it.
I have a motion from John D. and second from Quincy that the lease be renewed as presented by the city attorney. Correct?
Yes.
$2,800 a month. Any discussion?
$2,800 a month.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, under planning and zoning, alcohol license and new renewal for Ford International Spirits LLC. John?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman. For your consideration is a new alcohol license for the city. To the best of my knowledge, it's our first wholesaler, and that is for Forte International Spirits Incorporated, who is a wholesaler or reseller of alcohol. Mr. Forte has completed the application, paid all the fees necessary, and successfully completed the background check. And my recommendation is that the license be granted to him that he's applied for.
Okay, Mr. Forte's place of business is where?
It's going to be on Enterprise Drive in the offices, in the office complex there on Enterprise Drive, 115 Enterprise Drive, Suite H, which is right off of Meadow Drive there.
Okay. Do they serve food? Is that a restaurant complex in there?
No, sir. No, it's a light industrial / office space area, right off of. It's right behind where I believe you're thinking of, a la carte travel agency and all that. Is just down the road from that.
Is this for an alcohol store only?
It's for a wholesale business of spirits. So, in other words, he imports or purchases spirits direct from the manufacturer and then resells it to package stores and things like that. So he is a wholesaler of alcohol.
Oh.
Not selling to the public, is that correct? Yeah, he would not be selling to the public at all.
Oh,
so
okay.
basically he imports it and then resells it to dealers who then would sell it to the public.
Will he ever actually have any alcohol on the premises? I mean, does he order it and arrange for it to be delivered to the end user, or?
Yes, sir. My understanding is he will have storage of alcohol there, but in not in retail packaging. It would be in cases and that sort of
It's
thing.
not a pouring store. That's all it is. It is not a pouring store.
Correct. That is correct. He will not be pouring or serving alcohol in any capacity.
Wholesale store, in
Yes,
other
sir.
words.
That's correct.
And that's permitted in that zoning category out there?
Yes, sir. I believe it is. And again, he's not selling retail; it's only
Yeah.
wholesale. He couldn't pour or serve any retail at that premises. Only wholesale to other dealers who can pour. In other words, my understanding is that he would only be able to sell the alcohol to other companies or corporations that themselves have an alcohol license to resell to the public. Then, like
Okay.
a civilian or
What?
normal customer couldn't walk in and purchase alcohol there.
What territory would that be serving for the wholesale distribution? What area, territory might have Mr. Forte? If you
sir.
would come up and for the record, please, and
Appreciate it. My name is Scott Forte. I'm the CEO of Forte International Spirits. The way the corporation is set up is under a 3-tier system, so I can only sell to licensed establishments such as liquor stores, bars, restaurants, and that type of thing. We'll only be housing alcohol there, so it'll be shipped to us. We'll hold it there till we get sales, and then it will be sold to the licensed establishments in the state of Georgia.
but you will have a warehouse there at the store.
It'll just be a warehouse. Nothing can be poured at all. It'll just
Yeah,
be.
but you will store.
Yes, sir.
there.
Yes, sir.
And you have adequate security to make sure that.
Yes, and we have adequate security. I will be getting an alarm system there, and it'll be locked. And I have a federal license as well too, so the state will come down and facilitate everything else as well too.
And the city will be sure to get its tax revenue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt.
Okay.
Are you classified as a distributor?
Yes, sir. I'm classified as an importer and distributor on a federal level as well too.
Thank you.
Any other
Appreciate it.
questions?
No question.
And it's recommended by, John, y'all recommend
Yes, sir. We
License.
recommend the issuance of the license. He's met all the city requirements.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion, we recommend it.
I hear a motion to approve. Second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Alcohol number 2, change of ownership, Old Town Bottle Shop.
Yes, sir. The owner of Old Town Bottle Shop has sold the business to Drashi, Georgia LLC, doing business as Old Town Liquor Store. Mrs. Patel and Mr. Patel have purchased the business and applied for a transfer of ownership of the current license holder's city license. They've completed their background check and met all the requirements of the city ordinance, and therefore our recommendation is that their request for transfer of ownership of that license be granted.
Okay, is this for 2016 now?
Yes, sir, this is for the
current license holder will finish this year out?
Yes, sir, that is correct. He will finish out operating that business for the 2015 calendar year, and then this would take effect in January 2016.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion, we approve.
Have a motion to approve the new owner for license for 2016 at 214 Atlanta Road, Old Town Bottle Shop. We got a motion and a second in discussion.
All in favor?
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, John, item 3, alcohol license change ownership, Fox Pizza Den.
Yes, sir, this is a similar situation where the current owner will finish operating the business for the 2015 calendar year, and Pelagio LLC, which is owned by Mrs. Michelle White, has applied for a transfer of ownership of that alcohol license. Mrs. White has completed her background check as well as all the other requirements set forth in the city ordinance and paid the applicable fees. And therefore, my recommendation is that that license be granted as well.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion.
Have a motion from Quincy, and second Lewis. In discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, John.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman.
Under utilities, item 1, surplus property, wastewater treatment facilities. John Hurd. John.
Mayor, members of the City Council, as you know, there was, in the past, we had a piece of property on Lanier Beach South Road that was the location of the Lanier Beach South wastewater treatment plant. The piece of land was less than an acre in size, and once we decommissioned that plant and built the new wastewater pumping station, we no longer needed the land. The plant was actually decommissioned and taken apart and hauled to a landfill, so it left the property vacant. And so we received an appraisal for the land and determined that the value of the land was $50,000. We also advertised in the newspaper for several weeks asking folks to place a bid on the property and setting the lowest bid at $50,000 that we would accept. We did receive one bid from an adjacent property owner of $50,100, and the bid came from Allison Margelli. And this, the Department of Utilities is recommending that we accept this bid on this property and sell it to Allison Margelli for $50,100.
Okay. Bring the council up to date. If council remembers, a couple of months ago, this was brought to their attention by one of the property owners over there who didn't want to see the vacant lot in the subdivision where the old pump station used to be. And since the city owned it and it became surplus property declared by the utilities department, the utilities department put it out for bids after an appraisal on it, and the appraisal came back at $50,000, and that was the minimum bid. So the adjacent property owner put in a bid for $50,100, which was Allison Margelli, and the recommendation, as you hear, is to sell the property for the wastewater treatment plant. So what's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion, we sell it.
Have a motion from John D. to accept the bid of $50,100 to Allison Margelli. To have a second.
Second.
Second. Any other discussion?
All in favor?
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay, item 2, Bethel View Road bid for water and sewer.
Mayor and Council, as you're aware, Forsyth County is in the process of widening Bethel View Road. It's a very large project, and Bethel View Road is the westernmost border boundary of our water and sewer service area. And along Bethelview Road is a water line and some sewer lines, and because the county is widening the road and, installing a median in the middle, it's a 4-lane. The road construction that's planned will damage our water lines, will be dug up, for lack of a better description. So the city has been working diligently for the past year and a half to design a new water line for that roadway and sewer system. And a couple of months ago, we came to you and asked to be allowed to advertise for bids for this project. It's a large project. We had 5 bids, and the lowest bid came from Strickland and Sons Pipeline. We're working with them currently on a couple of other projects. The amount of the lowest bid was $2,915,379. The highest bid was $4,302,998. We're recommending that we accept the lowest bid from Strickland and Sons Pipeline and move forward with this project as quickly as possible, because the county has started on the roadway project and we need to get out of their way.
Okay, council remembers this was what the council authorized bids to be presented by John at this meeting, and as he indicated, there were 5 bidders on the project, and the low bid came in from Strickland and Son Pipeline Incorporated. Are they local? Are they?
They're in Hall County.
Hall County.
They are.
Was $2,915,379, and the high bid was $4,302,998, close to $1.5 million, a little over $1,400,000 cheaper than the highest bid. So the recommendation of your is to take the low bid, our engineer.
So we do. We've worked with this group before, and we're satisfied with their work.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board? This money also, I might add, comes out of the reserve, the Utilities Reserve Fund, and we have the money to pay for it.
I'll make the motion, we accept.
Have a motion from Lewis. To have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous.
Thank you, Mayor and
Thank you,
Council.
John. Also, item 3, Lake Shore Drive, low pressure problem on this particular issue. John?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, there are streets and properties along Lake Lanier, and those properties drain towards the lake, so it's very difficult to install gravity sewer in those areas. So the solution that works out best for city and county governments is to install a low-pressure grinder system. It's a small line. It's about a 3-inch line. It's laid along the roadway, and each home installs a grinder pump that they're responsible for. The city is not responsible for the pump or the line that leads from the house. We're just responsible for the force main along the road. Several of the homes on Lakeshore Drive came to me, the homeowners, and said that their septic tanks were failing and they needed to be on the city sewer. We have a grinder system that's just up the road a mile or half a mile, and in order to extend that system out to serve the next batch of homes down that roadway, we've got a low bid of $62,805 from Amos Backhoe. And also, you may see in your packet that we have generated half the revenue to pay for that. And the policy that we've worked off of for the past, say, 15 or 20 years is if we have an infrastructure improvement project such as this and we're able to generate at least 50% of the revenue to pay for it, then we move forward with the project. So this project falls within that standard practice that we've adopted years ago. And we did have, I think there were 5 at $62.50 each come and pay their sewer connection fee so that we can pay for at least half. Now, I know there's probably 15 more homes over there that will eventually hook on. So in the long term, we'll generate more revenue from this project than what we're spending to lay the line. So I recommend going with a low bid from Amos Backhoe Services.
Okay. Council have any questions?
I don't.
This has potential of causing issues and causing outages with low pressure, so the Utilities Department recommends doing this upgrade to this system over there, which is pressure problems. And according to the information that's provided, potentially it could have additional 33 more homes that could hook on down the line, so that would be
That's true.
to the city's advantage. Low bid of $62,805 with $31,250 already paid in advance for the taps, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion that we.
Have a motion from Lewis, have a second? Second from Quincy, in discussion. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Mayor,
John.
members of the city council.
Okay, under announcements, we have the National Barbecue Cup cook-off at the Cumming Fairgrounds, November the 20th, which is a Friday from 5 to 10 p.m. On Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that's always a big hit. Hopefully the weather will permit and everybody get a chance to have some barbecue tasting.
Yeah.
Also, Thanksgiving holidays will be November the 26th and 27th, which is a Thursday and Friday. City Hall will be closed. Also, as I stated earlier, public hearing on the 2016 budget will be held December the 1st, which is a Tuesday, here at City Hall at 5 o'clock. Also, we'll have the swearing-in ceremony for the newly elected council members. Newly elected Linda Ledbetter and Christopher Light. The swearing-in ceremony will be at the January 19th City Council meeting right here at the Chambers, City Hall. Any other business to come before this board? Your motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second? Oh, executive session. I hear a motion to adjourn for executive session. Or recess for executive session, whatever. Second? All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, I call the meeting back to order. Back in session. I hear a motion to call the meeting to order.
I make a motion.
So vote.
Second, all in favor signify. Nothing to report from executive session. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dana.